Welcome back to Tran Wins, SIGNALIS. This is the intermission chapter, Memory. There's only a few optional areas in this memory segment. This is one of them. Operation Penrose. Space vessel type Penrose, pride of the Usen nation. Doodle, colibri, and it's meant to make the diminutive psychic people look like a cauliflower. The stern observation window, nothing to see but stars. We have a few things that we need to do before we are allowed to continue, and that is check the flight deck is one of them, and you can click on any of these panels. So we're going to actually click on all of them. Space. The landing and docking assist monitor. The port controls panel. Everything is in order. The starboard controls panel. All systems green. They're not nominal. The ship's control panel. All systems nominal. There we go. Ship's control panel. I don't need to use it right now. Here's the other optional area. This is the island that we saw, I think. It's supposed to be the representative of the famous painting, which I know nothing about because I don't know anything about art. But I guess it's called the Island of the Dead. The painting Ariane has been working on recently, a serene coastline. Ariane's notes. Don't know how to say that word, but I'll give it a shot. Running out of ochre paint. Elster laughed when I told her. Now I have to mix it myself. So annoying. I still haven't read a whole bunch of those manuals. I think they gave me enough to read for the rest of my life. Most of them are boring technical manuals anyway. They could have given us more films to watch instead. Half of them are war films, which Elster doesn't like, and the other half are kitschy propaganda dramas. Which I think is stupid on the part of the Penrose operation, because we will uncover a document that talks about these war films, and you would have to wonder, why would you then pack them on this ship? Penrose Emergency Procedures, Appendix H. Based on data from previous long-range survey missions, salvaging the Replika technician for sustenance is not recommended, even in extreme circumstances. Replika biocomponents can cause various health problems when ingested. They may look and taste like ordinary flesh, but bioengineered tissue may cause more harm than good when eaten in an emergency situation. Oxidant may look like blood. Blood is indigestible to gestalts. It should also be considered that Pioneer replicas statistically have an 860% greater survivability than Gestalt Pioneer officers. For the sake of a successful mission, keeping the replica operational rather than prolonging your own suffering may be preferable. Penrose Briefing. By our calculations, 1,500 cycles of mission time will have passed when you receive this message. Congratulations, comrade. By now, you should have become fully acclimatized to your new life on board your ship. As you approach the Oort cloud, your search for new worlds will begin. Utilizing the long-range sensors, you will scout for valuable resources, habitable worlds, or signs of alien life. Remember to rely on your replica to assist you in maintaining your vessel. We all wish you great success in your mission. Reactor's coolant injection system. No leaks detected. Here's our manifest for what we need to do. And there'll be a new X on anything we've done. So for example, we haven't yet done the mess hall. We kind of missed that. We haven't checked out the cryogenics. And then last, we get to talk to the Gestalt Scout Officer. Until we do everything, we can't talk to her. I should finish my maintenance check round before I go see Ariane. This plant appears a lot. It's a small houseplant. Scout vehicle status monitor. Status in transit. Location on course. Gestalt pilot active. Personnel. Replica unit active. Mess hall. To fulfill this objective, you just need to glance at this panel. You don't even have to click on anything. You just have that screen appear. There's a sealed envelope among the documents. It says classified replica information, for Gestalt officer eyes only. It's unopened. I'm not allowed to open this envelope. It probably contains some classified information about me. Open it anyway? Yeah, because I'm recording, I need to show you guys the content, so yes. Replica known issues, Penrose program. Previous experience with this replica model has given us insight into irregularities in their behavior that stem from the original neural pattern used for this unit. Due to the sensitive nature of this information, this document should be destroyed after reading. Elster units were chosen for the Penrose program for their adaptability and reliability under long-term isolation conditions. Stoic and reserved, Elster units have a relatively stable neural pattern. It is best for you to leave it alone and interact with the Elster unit as little as possible. Elster's neural pattern was a soldier of Venedan origin, so their needs are basic. Avoid talking to the Elster unit about the war. Penrose vessels are fitted with a specialized calibration pod which may help with persona stabilization. To avoid resurfing of Gestalt memories, do not show or give the Elster unit photographs, especially of soldiers during the war. Do not show the Elster unit movies or let it listen to music. Do not try to befriend the Elster unit. If this is a military national vessel, and they say don't show your robot war movies, why would you pack half of your vessel's entertainment as war movies? Really? Whatever. Chronometer adjustment. Officer's note, I've adjusted the ship's internal clock to run slightly slower. By my calculations, each cycle should be exactly 6.13% longer, simulating what I believe is the length of a day on Veneta. I wonder if Elster will notice a difference. Judging from her accent, I'm sure that she's Venedan. She pronounces ship just like Isa and Eri used to. It's very cute. Hearing her speak makes me dream of the ocean. I wonder if I ever get to visit something like it. Maybe on a distant world? Ariane has never read that document. That's what that is the significance of being unopened. I think a lot of people were worried that they would get a bad ending for opening it, as if like that betrayed your command structure or something. No. I think that the reason it's unopened and makes a big deal out of it is to suggest that the character, the human on board this ship, is unaware of what they're not supposed to do. Like, don't feed your gremlins after midnight, kind of thing. The emergency cryogenic hibernation unit. In case of a medical emergency that cannot be treated on board, Gestalt crew members can be put into hibernation here. All systems nominal. I hope we never need to use this. Okay, we have hit everything. So now we just needed to report to the Gestalt Scout officer. Elster, you're up! I missed you. I missed you too. Ah, it's our 3000 cycle anniversary. We'll be getting the updated mission parameters later, so I thought it'd be nice to celebrate. Wait, let me put on some music. Smeared diary page. Psycho unknown. I can't tell whether I'm awake or asleep anymore. My vision is blurry and my fingers hurt. My back, it hurts. My teeth hurt. My eyes hurt. Everything hurts. All of the time. I can't go on like this. Please make it stop. Lost another tooth. There was so much blood. My hands were shaking. Why is my hair falling out? I can't sleep. I just want to sleep. Please just let me sleep. Compartmentalizing trauma. I'm now in my combat armor, and you do actually take less damage from enemies during this next phase. Diagnostic systems for the cryogenic capsule. I've taken what I needed. There's a huge mass of flesh in the cryopod. Please, just make it stop. Please. The other room has nothing different at this juncture. It's locked. I can't stop now. Keep going? Yes. I feel like this section really slows stuff down, but alright. Just when things are really starting to get your attention. Those who sing the same songs, I've heard it in their dreams, a dark tone at the edge of hearing, a silent voice whispering to my heart, come join us, together we will be eternal, there is no escape, we will be one. But I fear the dark sea that will swallow me. Something old, far older than humanity, sleeps deep below the ground. Those of us who can hear its call in the night, an invitation, an ocean of memories, where I ends and we begin. In the sky we can see a somewhat brighter star than any of the others. Also, there's an object out there which I think is the Yellow King book. I didn't miss this one, did I? I apologize if I didn't, and I ended up just double tracking. Yeah, we saw this one. There's a boat. I don't know, maybe a boat of the dead. River Styx, I don't know. Great holes secretly are digged where earth's pores ought to suffice, and things have learnt to walk that ought to crawl. We should have never left the primordial soup. Only through death can I escape the call of the one who rules above all life. I don't know if these are the texts of the actual Yellow King book, but I believe that's supposed to be it right there. The Book of the Yellow King. And then here's a page with blood all over it. Kill me. And it reads, Chapter 3, Gestaltserfall, which the internet has translated as Gestalt Decay. Yeah, I really wish this section had gone on longer. I know a lot of people say they wish their games could go on further, but no, I think the game is just really hitting its stride as soon as it goes to here to show the surrealness. You should recognize this place, even though it is different and more evil or sinister. That's exactly when the horror theme should be kicking in. Everything else up until now should have been like your tutorial warm-up. Something has changed. I can't put my finger on it. The door is blocked by a mass of flesh. There's no way through. Welcome to S23 Sierpinski. You've been selected or have elected to be relocated by Aeon to S23 Sierpinski. At our prestigious re-education vocational school facility, you will learn new skills to shape your future as a productive citizen of our wonderful nation. Concerned about your family, friends, former colleagues? Yes, that is the blanked out word. It is re-education. It's been consumed by flesh. Memorandum, wall safe codes. It has come to my attention, blank for the protector wall safes. Any blank are to be interrogated until the culprit is found. I'm Adler. Completely useless document. Together. Together to victory over the Empire. You've been here before. This is the same code in the beginning of the game. The code for this is going to be 204 512. And if for some reason you don't have the code and don't remember me telling you, you could always start another game on a different file and then go get the code, I guess. Because there are people who are on the Steam forums who ask like, hey, what's the code? I need the code. I guess they put it in without thinking but never got the aperture card. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna make a save here. All right, let's give this a shot. I didn't know I could push two at once. I probably could get through that door before they hit me, but I'll just take it safe because I did so well on the other two hallways. There's a hole in the ground. It looks like it can drop down safely. You've changed. It's like everything was taken apart and put back together by someone who doesn't understand how it works. I have become whole again. I wear no mask, and I hate everything. Perhaps this is hell. And now, Rotfront. Looks familiar, doesn't it? Pick up the 8mm ammo and a new submachine gun. To Calibri from Aeon Commando. Subject requisition. Your requisition request for a Type 84 submachine gun was successfully processed. Type 84 Drac Burst Fire. 120 compact 8mm ammo. The locksmith said it will take at least a period until the replacement key is done. My niece currently has the only other key, but she's still at the hospital right now. To the Blockwart of Sector C. There are rumors that there is an Imperial spy active in your area. Protector Special Operations Unit has been dispatched from Aeon headquarters on Heimat to investigate and should arrive within 6 to 12 cycles. Needless to say, should they be successful, this will not reflect well on your record. You know what to do. Calibri, as every season, your performance will be subject to a review by local command soon. Remember that this review will determine if you will be marked for replacement. I understand that you need entry to the bookstore for your patrol, but we do not have a spare key for the front door. However, you can use the back entrance to get into the store. It's secured with a keypad. The code is the birthday of my daughters. Note they were born in Veneta. Check the last 6 digits of their PKZ numbers. Kind regards, Aito. Aito is the dude who, or that's the last name of Isa. Relocation. No. I'll put this in our memory so that way, if we ever wanted to access it, we could. We shouldn't need to, though. Alright, drop everything off. There's 1 thermite on the table. We're going to take 2 others. Let's see, I need a shotgun and a pistol. I'm going to take 6 rounds of the pistol. That way, if I don't end up firing it, I can end up still reloading it with whatever ammo I find in the next area. Yep. Reload. Actually, we should probably use this first. Let's begin. Alright, when I try to hit multiple suspects, I always aim at the one in the back, and then try to line up my laser beam on the target in front. You know what? See you in a second. It looks like there's a playing card embedded in the paint of the painting. The paint layer is too thick to remove the card without dissolving the paint first. Now, me getting the double kill or double knockdown with 1 shotgun round, it was a very rare event. Normally that does not happen. Burn these bodies. We'll be frequenting this hallway a lot. Alright, the pistol fighting was not as good, but the shotgun was amazing. So I'm gonna definitely say it. Rifle, flashlight, and make a save. Yeah, I really like this segment. I think it's leagues better than the very linear segments of the first Hospital ward, personnel bedrooms were okay. There was less linearity there. I did not like the underground section, not because they didn't have a map. It was just, again, way too linear. While we're waiting for this one to walk past, it's locked. It requires a key. The door is labeled 0512. Alright, there's 3 enemies in this room. Walked past that one. There's 1 item in this room that I want. Leave that repair spray for a second. I was thinking about flagging the door, but we'll flag it later. In this hallway, there's 2 ARARs. Those are the tunnel ones. What we want to do is we want to enter this room here, which is also linked to this room, except we have to unlock it from here. So we're basically opening up future passages. Make sure your light is off, so he does not get alarmed by you. What I like to do is I like to aim at this one and look at my back foot. If you go too high, he will spot you. I like to put my back foot on this black line in the middle of the doorway, and I should be able to hit both of them, knock them both down. I've been able to do that consistently. And this one actually sometimes just dies. I think it's dead because its arm doesn't look like it's wiggling. Alright, when you pick up stuff, make sure you pick up this at some point before it's the last one so you can reload your rifle. Well, I mean, if you're doing the exact same thing I am. That was 2 rifle bullets. So that used up an entire stack. Mondfest celebrations canceled over safety concerns. The seasonal Mondfest celebration, a young but well-established tradition in most Rotfront sectors, will not be allowed to take place until further notice, Protector Public Office has announced today. There is a credible threat to public safety that is currently under Protector investigation. Citizens are only to leave home for work and report all suspicious activities to their block warden. When pressed about the rumors of an Imperial spy living in Sector C, the Protector Public Office only repeated their appeal to citizens to report all suspicious activities to a Protector. We will need 1 stun prod, pistol, revolver, 4 rounds because we already have 4 in the chamber, or not chamber, gun. Come on, go through the door. Alright, for this one, keep in mind that this flame can still hurt you even after it looks like it's gone, so just wait half a second or something, wait for all the smoke to disappear. There's lots of treasure around here. The meat grinder seems to be broken. It looks safe to drop through to the floor. Millions starve as Imperial blockade continues. Due to the ongoing transit of Kateza, ration shipments to Veneta have been disrupted by Imperial forces again. Millions of Usan citizens must starve for yet another month, as Imperial missile frigates in Kateza orbit critically damaged one of our humanitarian convoys on their way to Veneta, sending diplomatic efforts with the Empire into another crisis. The orbit of Kateza will continue to block free travels between Veneta, Rotfront, and Heimat for another 8 seasons, which leaves our liberation troops on Veneta stranded on the desolate ocean world with minimal support. Convoys will continue to be sent despite the Imperial blockade. Only through perseverance can we rebuild what remains of Veneta. This tarot card, when you collect tarot cards in this area, there's 6 of them, the map will start to get blocked off. This particular tarot card does not block anything off, but moving forward, once we pick up the card, we will no longer be able to transfer, move through that area once we've left it. There's ammo all over this place. 66. Flee and wait. $209. If the other one's not coming to me, I'll just take a shot at this one for now, then. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I'm basically gonna guerrilla warfare these guys. I'm gonna try... I've not actually attempted this. I'm going to try to stick them in the bottom side of the corridor so that I never revive them, so I don't have to thermite them. I don't want to pop them right now because they'll fall right there. I want them to fall over here. I'm waiting for the other one up here. Now, I have actually knocked one down. It was a regular star unit, not a stork, though, with just a pistol round from behind. It must have been like a critical hit or something. Okay, I've hit them with one revolver round each. Stop camping that body. All right, just you left. This is working really well. Wanted to get her before she put her shield up, so it ended up doing less damage, but I had to use more ammo to do it. So hopefully she won't never stand up, but she was kind of close to that wall. I don't like that. Patient key, and then drop everything off. We're going to drop off everything but the stun prod. This next segment is pretty difficult, so I'd probably save or not be a minimalist like me. Did I get hit? No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Good. The red eye. There exists a strange folklorish idea in many sectors of Rotfront related to pareidolia, the tendency to see meaningful images in random patterns, like seeing a face in an ink blot or letters in a smudge of dirt. It is well known that the so-called red eye is simply an anticyclonic storm produced by a high-pressure region in the atmosphere of Rotfront's planet. Yet for some of the early settlers of Rotfront, this natural phenomenon became symbolic of their struggle and way of life. That red spot in the sky became a perfect metaphor for the ever-present surveillance of the protectors and the tight grip of the central government on Highland. Even today, the idea of an unblinking, watchful eye observing their every move still resonates strongly with people here. During the celebration of Mondfest at the end of each season, adult citizens will sometimes give students ration marks that have been dipped in red paint. Officially, the red paint is said to represent the blood of those who died in the revolution. But red coins share an eerie resemblance to that red eye, or is this just pareidolia too? Should you ever receive one of these red eye ration marks, remember to clean off the paint with acetone or a similar paint thinner. Spending or regifting paint-covered coins is considered to be bad luck. I'm going to unlock the door on the left as well. That was only the first segment of the tough part. Alright, she's guarding a stun rod, which I also want, so we'll go and get that. But we'll... And I'm gonna spin a stun rod to get it. It's, again, I'm just 100%ing. I'm getting every item. Okay, look at my notes while I wait for him to reset. Okay, this room, you want to make sure that you have enough inventory space for everything, because when you get the tarot card from this room, it will be closed down. Again, not immediately after you leave, but after you leave the area and cannot see the growth. I'm gonna tell you right now, I would probably have never figured out this solution if the game didn't just outright tell you pareidolia and then expects you to see shapes. A, E, O, N. N over here. Aeon. Whoops. So trying to exit out. So for that, now it seems to be consistent. You'll start on Lister, and I happen to have written down all the chambers of this so I could speed run this dial. 2 down, 2 down, 2 down, 1 down. Then click this. It seems to be consistent. Again, at least in this version of the game. Look at the moon card, and there's cocoons of butterflies, I guess. I don't know. Here's a book. Bioresonance technology and its limitations. No other technology has shaped our nation as bioresonance has. Would we ever have been able to free ourselves from the stranglehold of the Empire without the support of replicas? Essential technologies like climate forming and induced gravity would be impossible without bioresonance technology. Despite that, it feels like we've made little effort to really understand or replicate bioresonant effects with conventional technology. Our progress in the development of electronics and microprocessors has stagnated for nearly a century now as we focus solely on new ways to instrumentalize this barely understood phenomenon. Take replica production, for example. The process of duplicating a neural pattern from a gestalt host to a replica brain is still not fully understood. How does synchronicity happen? Why is duplicate imperfect? What happens to pre-existing patterns in the receiving brain? Recreating a replica purely with microprocessors and digital programming may be far out of reach, but I believe that we've become overly dependent on a poorly understood technology controlled solely by a few gifted individuals. It may not be long before we're back where we were under the Empire. We have here rifle ammo and thermite. So we now have a full set of gear. It's time to bring it all home to our lockbox. Also, there's a plant on the top right, which you can't really interact with. Was stuck on the door. Okay, well, I did want to unlock that door. I also didn't want to get trapped. So what we're going to do is there's a garbage chute just between the 2 upper doors. We're going to jump down that. We will get spotted immediately because the stork in the bottom. him. I'm actually kind of trapped. I don't know. I don't actually need to take that way because I've cleared these other directions, but I want to take that way because that's the way my guide tells me. And it's not that I'm obsessive or hooked on it. I need to make sure this guide is worth it, that the guide actually works, that when I say take the chute, you can actually go down the chute. My problem is I got stuck back here. We're gonna get this revolver ammo I'm standing on. We're gonna forget the blue diskette for now. That is a quest item, but we don't have room for it right now. We had room for the revolver ammo because we already have a stack of it. Now that we have repair spray on our inventory as well, we can stack that. Gonna pick up that spray. There's 8mm ammo to the camera left and shotgun ammo to the camera right. Alright, we're gonna drop everything off. We're gonna make another lap. There's over 7 items there, so I mean, there's no way we could have picked up everything. I'm not sure I read that earlier. I think I forgot again. Reunification. Reunification at any cost. Orbital Defense Cannon Battery, Veneta 12. Huyan and Kateza in our crosshairs. Artillery divisions of the People's Army. Here's the show that it's completely blocked. That's the one that patrols and will probably catch us. Are you just standing there now forever? Okay, I mean, sure. It means you'll probably catch me trying to get through. So what we need to do is we need to get to this side. Apparently we touched all these when we were running around the enemy. We need to enter that room. Okay, I like this. Alright, this room is totally blocked. That's fine. We're gonna take the ammo, the disc, shotgun rounds, and repair a patch. So now we're up to 4 items. Drop down the chute again. Pick up this other disc. We're now up to 5 items. And we're going to take this way to get the last of the ammo in this room, as well as unlock another door. Compact ammo, which we already have a stack of now in front of the dentist's office, and shotgun rounds. Alright, here's where we see if that body's too close. I don't want that body to get up. Okay, well, I don't know if it's still going to get up or not, but we can minimize this likelihood of getting up. This one patrols here. I guess it also goes this way. I don't know. And it doesn't normally do that. I don't want to ever see it take that. Sure, you just gotta prove me wrong. My parents-in-laws told me once that your kids will always prove you liars. Like if you say they always do this, they'll immediately the next time they won't do it. This next solution's a little bit of a wonky puzzle. First off, it doesn't matter which one you pick or what you click, it's going to ask you, do you want to use the disc? Even if I click this one and select the other color disc, it's not going to let me. It's always going to be blue in A and red in B, no matter how you click it. And it's always going to be blue icons here and red icons here. You'll see what I mean. Click this, select an item to use. We happen to collect both discs on our run. Very efficient. Use the blue diskette? Yes. Then some things pop up. Use the red disc. So for patients, this is the one we get from the dentist's office. The blue one was in the trash. All right, let's start with the red one. This is the easiest to look at. Here's a bunch of just personnel things. This is Isa right here. She has regularly treated for small lesions and very prone to accidents. Here's Ariane Young, where she's a radio officer, and she has her doctor's notes removed. Peculiar. I'm going to download everybody's, because one of the things we needed to do was get the PKZ number for these two twins. So 560524, that is the keypad code for the bookstore. All right, let's take a look at this. Read me. Due to the power rationing, only a limited number of antennas in the grid are powered at a time. To determine which antennas are currently powered, use the antenna program to triangulate the correct antenna. Take note of the antenna where the test signal can be heard on both dishes. In the transmit program, enter the antenna number and select the current sound file to broadcast. Sorry, that's a lot of information. Let's go to this. I might have to turn radios back on. See if I hear anything or see any signal or anything like that. Okay, let's go ahead and turn that on. Settings, audio. 78 is good because we're going to turn that off when we're done here. Okay, so right now we are on this radio. So what we're doing is we're trying to see which of these antennas are powered. So we should start picking up a frequency as we move the dish towards the other antenna. Okay, that seems pretty strong. That's even stronger. That's lower. So this is good. So 43. Let's try the other one. So if we click on this, it's 210. So let's rotate our frequency to 210. Then start doing the same with this. Now I already know which solution it is. I'm just teaching you. Again, they may change it to be a randomized solution in the future. Who knows? All right, it's even stronger. It's lower. So this is good. 43. What we need to do is go to transmit, select 43, and I'm going to tell you this right now. One of the rooms we could have checked, but we didn't. It's called the hospital room. We had access to it. I just didn't bother going in. We need to select Magpie, and you'll see why in a second. The game makes it pretty obvious. So we're going to send the Magpie to 210. This is the new transmission that's going to 210 and 125 at this point. You can just turn it off though. I don't really want to deal with that. It's pretty much the sound you get when you start up the game. So I actually will be going turning that sound off anyways. And the other poly and bells, that's just the same sounds you were hearing earlier. All right, for this next section, we're going to drop everything, as usual. We need the acetone and patient key. The patient key is totally optional area, but if we were going to use it, you require 6 items to make full use of the area behind the patient key door. So we might as well unlock it now. If we were to look at this, it's a bottle of liquid dimethyl ketone. It can be used to dissolve and clean up plastics, epoxies, and paints. Common cleaning product used to soften and dissolve various paints and plastics. All right, we'll just use it on this. Now we can get this card. Pick up lovers. Next time we appear in this section, that will be fleshed off. If we were to make a fluid route, it'll be going through the dark room again, but that would actually take longer because I would need to dodge an enemy and push an enemy and stuff. So we're actually just gonna take this way. This area will be completely blocked off once you get all 6 cards, but it's not blocked off by any one card. This ring is something that we need to get, but you can only get so when this area becomes destroyed by the flesh mount. Teacher's evaluation. Area Nia. The girl, without a doubt, is remarkably odd, certainly due to her being raised solely by her mother rather than by a community of good people overseen by a block warden, as is normal these days. Her obsession with paintings, music, and other such nonsense was clearly implanted during her time living in the mountains, on that desolate radio outpost, and surely her friendship with those Venedan-born Ito sisters also exposed her to some of the questionable literature that is illegally sold in their parents' bookstore. She does not seem to understand that these distractions are no longer acceptable now that she must partake in a society of our nation like anyone else. Personally, I can only hope military service will beat those frivolous ideas out of her in a way that this school has failed to do so far. Alright, the radio outpost, that was at the very beginning of the game when we got the butterfly key. And the bookstore, we're about to head there pretty soon. In fact, because we have exactly 4 item slots left, there's a picture of a magpie in the box above what looks like a small speaker or a microphone. All you need to do is just turn on your radio to 210 or 125, and it'll eventually just open on its own once it hears enough of the tone. Then you have to pick up the key before you can pick up the card, because the card, again, locks the area behind you. So it just makes you pick up the key first, and then the star. That's why we needed 2 extra inventory slots, and now we're at 6 again. Funny how that generally works out. Metal key labeled Young Photo Store. One that patrols back and forth is really problematic. I need to drop everything but the store key and the photo tank. Use the store key. I want you to really take notice of something here, okay? Just really pay attention to this next segment. It's really weird. We need to use this developing fluid on the photo tank, which is going to give us a photograph with a QR code. I don't think you actually have to scan it, which is good because I don't have a device that scans these things. Some kind of digital dot matrix code. I wonder what kind of machine could possess this code. So we're going to use this photograph to unlock another note. I want you to think about where we get the solution to this. We needed the developer fluid from the photo store. Now again, this is kind of a surreal play, so it doesn't have to make sense. You're going to see a bunch of names, such as Alina CO and so forth, which is the person you were looking for during the during the Sapinski incident, but that's not the person you were looking for at the beginning of the game, who they look very similar. The game will briefly touch on that later. People's Army, 5th Veneta Infantry Division, Unit 12. It has Alina CO in there, Lilith Ito, so not Isa and Erica. These are perhaps their ancestors. Packet box, national post, whatever you want to call it, packet station. We use the photograph, get the sun tarot, and we get a note. Let's read this. I have been found out. I'm sure the white-haired girl working at the photo store in Sector C is bioresonant. Be careful. They don't pay me enough to take any more risks. I'm on the next ship to Contessa tomorrow. Meet me at the docks in Sector N if you want to bail too. Son. To get this note, the dude needed to use the photo store, but he's scared that the photo store is psychic. I mean, sure, whatever. Alright, one last card to get. We've never been in this side. The door is locked. It's probably unlocked by the keypad next to it. 560, 524. Song of the Gods. Possession and distribution of this publication is prohibited and punishable by the 4th Cultural Protection Act. There exists a connection between all of us that few are fully aware of, a song that we all dance to but few can hear. This deep vibration of the cosmos can not just be heard and felt, we all resonate in harmony with it, shaping it, deforming it around us. Those select few who can consciously perceive it often fear it. Too oppressive is the sound of the stars, too invasive the noise of the unaware around them, polluting the song with their fickle emotions. But every once in a while, some are born that cannot only hear and play this music of the world, but who can conduct it. gifted individuals capable of manipulating the essence of the world around them. Many believe that the Grand Empress is such a being. Her immense will bent humanity into the Empire of Yusan and lifted us to the stars. It was her power that imbued life into the first of the machine servants that now carry the weight of the Empire on their carbon steel backs. I couldn't find her. I've looked everywhere, but she's not here anymore. I can't go on. I'm sorry. Forgive me. And like that, my only friend is gone. Pick up the auto injector? Yes. Yeah, this store is the Aito bookstore, and the real Isa probably died a long time ago, given that these are events that happened in the past. What I've read is that the black band on a shrine means that that person has died. So, Isa, or Isolde. Photograph of Isa wearing a school uniform. The picture is badly damaged. Pick up death? I don't want to, but yes. Unlock the door. We have all of the cards. Many of them are in our inventory, but we're done here. I really like this segment. I wish there were more of it. Yeah, this room has maybe changed a little bit, and there's a dead body. It looks like Elster. We're not going to pick this up yet because there's no point. And when we come back, that room will be blocked off by flesh as well. So now we're going to collect all the tarot cards. Filling up our inventory. Dream Diary. 6th night. I dreamt I was an imperial farmer. I embraced my lover in the red deserts of Katessa when a storm consumed us, the sand grinding us down until nothing remained. Things you should pay attention to. Just so you know, the 6th night, and in case the 6th Arcanum, but in case you couldn't pick up on that, they also tell you lover card. So, lover, Katessa. You want to pay attention to the type of card and what planet or celestial object it is related to. 13th night. I was a worker in the mines of Lang, when I was consumed by a shapeless mass of flesh. My flesh joining with the flesh of many others until only my bones remained. My mind joined the collective of flesh which persists beyond death. 16th night. As a storm raged in the sky, I fell from a ruined skyscraper on Veneta. It never reached the ocean below. It kept falling, when suddenly lightning struck the building, and I woke up. 18th night. I was floating in the sunless sea below the ice of Rotfront when I saw a large creature move in the darkness below me in the moon's dark core. 19th night. I saw a burning eye in the sky above the clouds of Buyan. I was walking through the floating imperial palace when the gaze of the sun, like iris, burned my body to ashes. Like many other solutions, or like many other puzzles, the solution is not randomized, but they could always change that. So this is how you do this. By looking at the Dream Diary, and you can consult it anytime you want, you need to place each of the tarot cards on the appropriate celestial object. We have Katessa and Lover. So we're going to go into that. Then it said Death and Lang. Then it said Veneta and Tower. There happened to be 5 pages in that dream diary. 6 cards, however, so one of the cards is missing, but so too is one of the planets. In this case, they never mentioned the planet Heimat, or they never mentioned the Terrell for Star. So process of elimination, Star. Just so you know, you don't actually have to put it in the same order. Star does not have to be the 4th card you put down. I'm just putting it down in the order of Arcanum. Then we have Rotfront. That's going to be the Moon card. And finally, you have Bouillon. That'll be the Sun card. Okay, pay attention to the names of these things. So like Bouillon's on the top. Let's flip this switch. So Bouillon is going to be a full circle. Heimat is going to be a partial left moon. Same for this one, which is Veneta. This one's a partial right moon, mostly left moon, and full moon. Don't worry, I'll take you through. I'll make the solution, work the solution with you. In the event I ever speed ran it, I also figured out exactly how many turns I would need to get the quickest solution. So let's do that. And that's why I didn't bother picking up dial ring, because we need it for this puzzle. Oops, hold on. The light well above has been consumed by the mass of meat, releasing some debris that was caught in the nets above. And even if I had a flashlight on, she wouldn't interact with that Elster body at all. Like she doesn't see it. Okay, so what we need to do is, if you click here, all it shows you is the hole. So we need to click up here, and in case you didn't notice, and it's hard to tell, the Rotfront does not actually have a ring on it. So just go ahead and click on it at any point, and you'll apply the dial ring on it. Okay, the solution. At least is the fastest possible way. Fewest turns. 3 to the right. 1 to the right. 1 to the right. 2 to the left. 2 to the left. And finally, 2 to the left. I can't seem to get out of this menu at this time. So if you didn't have the 3 mystical keys, we'll call it, at this juncture, you can't use it. Before you get to this, before you put in the final solution, make sure you have the keys. Now, we don't have it on this particular playthrough because to get it legitimately, you need to play it twice. Because you'll get the solutions to the puzzle way later than you can actually access the puzzle. It's meant to be kind of, again, a surreal meta game kind of thing. So, yeah. You'll get 3 keys if you follow those steps. And you need to just spin around. You might remember in the very first episode, I looked around the room and I saw a lockbox. You need to do that before you touch the book, otherwise you cannot get the secret ending. But if we were to do a secret ending, you wouldn't get to fight the last boss. So it's locked. It requires a key. And then that code is going, the keypad for this is going to be the magpie thing that says like Octung Octung, and then it gives you a bunch of numbers. So yeah, this is the room we saw in the very beginning of the game. I mean, it looks like it's a bit more dirty than we remember it being. The door won't open yet. A light switch. I don't need to turn off the light. An old wooden wardrobe. Ariane used to keep her clothes in here. This is the only thing that doesn't have its text. I think it had the text in the very beginning of the game. My OCD of looking at everything has outwitted the game makers. Textbooks on radio operation. These used to belong to Ariane's mother. Old Imperial serials. Ariane loved reading these. Black and white pictures of the paintings Ariane used to make. The computer screen is blank. So I think this is trying to say 195. Yeah. I mean, not that it matters. Let's go and tune into that and just leave it all. That'll be our ending frequency. Not that it does anything. A dusty bed. Ariane used to sleep here. The national flag. It's meaningless. Back to where it all began. The last seal has been broken. It's time to go home. Pick up the king in yellow? Yes. It's not an actual inventory item, so you're okay. But yes, if you did want to open the safe, you need to bring the 3 keys before you finish the puzzle. None of the other objects in the room can be interacted with. Here's the final segment. Repair spray. 10mm ammo. Let's go and deposit everything, and we'll figure out what to bring afterwards. I already know what I'm going to bring. I'll explain a little bit more as we go on. Workforce assignment for Yeong, Ariane. We have been informed that your compulsory military service period was recently completed. According to our files, you have previously graduated from Mandelbrot Polytechnical High School in Rotfront Sector C on R34.59C, and have recently submitted an application for military service assignment Petros program. You have been processed by Aeon Workforce Assignment. Previous work experience, store clerk, Yeong Photo Store, part-time. Compulsory military service, Rotfront Orbital. Long-range radio operations officer training. Should you not be accepted by a military service program by the end of the season or find other employment, you will be assigned the following workplace: S23 Sarpinsky Production and Mining Facility on Lang. Letter from Mother. My dearest Ariane, I'm so glad to hear you're feeling better again. I was very worried when I heard from your aunt that you're in the hospital again. I still remember how you used to get sick so much as a child. Please don't overexert yourself, okay? The photo you sent me is very interesting. What a strange coincidence that she looks so much like you. Could be twins. Perhaps she is related to us somehow. I don't know anyone named Seo in our family. From the looks of it, it was shot on Veneta. Your military service begins soon, so you might be wearing a uniform like her soon enough. Please send me a photo when that happens. Love, Mother. Auntie's note. Ariane, I left some of yesterday's dinner in the fridge for you. You can warm it up when you get back from school. Please pick up the books your uncle ordered from the Ito bookstore on your way home. Remember to leave some space in your school bag for them this time so they don't get wet. That is the game's way of telling you that you're going to have an event coming up next where you should have at least one inventory slot available to you. I'll make a save here. Alright, so what items do I want to bring? The inventory that you get access to in the next scene changes depending on what equipment you've brought. So here's the stuff I'm going to bring first, and bring all the stun rods we have. And then we're going to bring flare gun, submachine gun, as many flare shells as we can bring. Unfortunately, we've already spent, I guess, 2 of them. Two on the cage monster. I don't know if I spent any others besides that. And then we're gonna bring as much compact ammo as we can. Let's go and reload all of these babies. That's a high explosive, so I need to combine it with the flare shell. That's already maxed. Alright, this is our setup. Go and make another save anyways. I would normally maybe bring a flashlight at this point, just so that we could see better, but I do need that last inventory slot. This is the end. Leave forever. Yes. You're safe in this room. It's an exposition room. Adler's note. All efforts to contain this illness have been in vain. All the Gestalt workers have succumbed to it, leaving only dark shadows on walls and floors where they died. And soon all of us Replika will have lost our senses and turned to writhing masses of flesh. I now believe it was not an infectious disease nor some form of poison or radiation. It was a slow corruption of reality itself. As I've relived the same cycle over and over, each time details changed, things are twisted, added, removed. How long until it all turns to nothing but noise? A red dream, a crashed ship, a strange gate, a hole in the ground. An island beyond reach, memories from other lives, dreams of suffering and loneliness, promise, search, someone lost. I saw her in the red emptiness waiting for me. We had made a promise. As the memories of a stranger rushed into my mind, I felt the borders of myself blur. Now I can no longer tell where Falk ends and Elster begins. Stop. You must turn back. There's nothing for you here. You've tried so many times, and you failed every time. Don't you see that you're ruining everything? This is your final warning. Adler. Falk's memory. We were dancing to that song to start the broadcast with. We fell asleep watching that movie we had seen before so many times. If only I could take us back to that time when we were happy. These memories, mine now. Why did you return? There's nothing for you here. She'll never dance with us again, no matter what we do. She doesn't even want us anymore. Both of us, we are incomplete. Let us become whole again. This boss is in 6 phases. You can drop her to a vulnerable status in about 21 SMG shots. Less if you do a little more aiming. The first time you stun her, she's going to fly away from the center bed so that you can actually reach her. And once you stun her, you need to hit her with a lance that she kindly drops for you. However, her lances that are in the ground can still hurt you. The second phase spawns 2 ARAR units and has loot around the room. It is a repair patch in the northwest, 5 shotgun rounds in the southeast, and in the southwest is a dynamic spawning point. It'll either give you 1 flare, 8 pistol rounds, 3 revolver bullets, 1 rifle bullet, 15 SMG bullets, or if you don't have any of those weapons in the order I listed, a repair spray plus. I've obviously taken a lot of notes to prepare for this boss. But I'm most happy with the SMG. I haven't spent a single SMG bullet in the Rotfront area. All the bullets I've accumulated comes to 32 spare rounds. One of the reasons why I'm not popping her right now is I want her to drop spears. Even if I'm carrying a spear, I still want another spear. You can only carry 1 at a time, but I'd rather her drop 1 as the battles get more difficult in each future phase, so I'd rather run around in circles during her easier phases. When you see a giant red symbol appear on her, that is when you are in stabbing range. Just use the regular interact button as if you were executing a fallen replica. Right now she's camping the signal flares I want. In this area, in the third map, the top right is 10 pistol rounds. In the chair below it is a repair patch. In the chair to the west are 2 repair sprays, and in the top left, any of the following, depending on what weapons you brought. A grenade, 2 flares, 3 revolver rounds, 1 rifle round, 2 shotgun shells, 8 SMG rounds, or a repair plus. Now, I don't really believe her floating shields do damage to you, so you can run through them if you want. They do block shots from you, however. Still, I wouldn't necessarily hug her because you will take damage. The further away I get from her, the less visual I have because there's more static that appears on the screen. This segment here is what I consider the hardest, but first we'll talk about the loot. The top right has 2 repair sprays, the top left has 12 SMG bullets, bottom left has 2 repair patches, and on the right side is any of the following: a grenade, a flare shell, 10 pistol rounds, 6 revolver bullets, 2 rifle rounds, 5 shotgun shells, or repair spray plus. If you don't have the weapons and ammo to deal with her, you can always try to get her to detonate the spear on herself, and that will also result in her getting stunned. She only gets stunned after she completes an animation, so there's really no need to keep pouring bullets into her if you know you've done enough damage to stun her. If she has yet to deploy spears and you don't possess any, she will not get stunned. If she thrusts her spear out, I can probably dive in and hit her with my stun prods and take her down. But since it looks like I'm just going to end up flare shotting her, I won't get to do that.
Now, we are one. I've been waiting for this for a long time.
Once again, you've returned. Are you really willing to go through with this once more? You've seen what happens. This world cannot take much more. This may be our last chance. If you go back, it will all fall apart. I can't let that happen. You selfish monster. You'll destroy everything. Penrose Briefing, Phase 2. By our calculations, 1500 cycles of mission time will have passed when we receive this message. We've seen this message earlier during the memory. Cycle 225. When I signed up for this mission, I just wanted to get away from everything. I was sick of Rotfront, of school, of the photo store, sick of the fake smiles and whispering behind people's backs. When I saw the photo of that soldier, I wondered who she was. Was she happy? Was her family proud of her? Did her comrades love her? Since we looked alike, could I have been like her? But in the end, I just wanted to leave. Nothing I had done or made ever meant anything to anyone, so why bother? Here I am, finally free. I get to be by myself and to do what I want. I can finally be happy. Cycle 648. Talked some more to the Elster unit. She's different from the other replicas I knew back home. Nothing like my teachers or the Blockwart protector. I knew she didn't have a choice, but it feels like she's also here because she didn't fit in. It's like we've run away from the world together. At first, I didn't like having someone around, and I was glad she's quiet and didn't approach me. But lately, I've missed having someone I can talk to. It's been so long since I've last seen another person. I never thought I'd miss it. Except her, everything is the same in here, always. Nothing ever changes. Penrose Briefing, Phase 3. Congratulations, comrade. You've survived 3,000 cycles, reaching the final phase of the Penrose program. With the end of the operational lifetime of your replica unit approaching, it is time to prepare for the final phase of your mission. If you have not found a suitable world for landing by this point, accept that you will not. Find solace in the thought that others might be successful where you failed. As you are probably aware, your ship's spare parts and rations will soon be depleted. Life support systems and reactor shielding will soon begin to fail, and radiation may begin to leak from the cooling system. We recommend you do not attempt to prolong your suffering by reusing old filters or rationing supplies. Instead, make peace with your fate. We suggest that you ask your replica, while it is still functional, to spare you a slow and agonizing death, or that you take permanent rest in the cryogenic pod. Remember, you will die having served your nation by partaking in a glorious demonstration of our power. Another unfinished painting. There was never enough time. Cycle 1294. Had a strange dream. I was listening to the radio with my mother. Like back then, the numbers were on, and my mother was taking notes with a book on her lap. It was that book I saw in the shop window of the bookstore where the twins lived, the one with the yellow hooded figure on the cover. When I went there to buy it, it was gone, and Erica said the protectors had confiscated it. Or was it Isa? I can't remember. Cycle 1840. Everything is always the same. I feel like I'm trapped inside this ship. I know every bolt on every panel in every room of it. I've seen everything. I've done everything there is to do in here. I can't concentrate on anything. It's like there's this fog inside my head, and whenever I try to do anything, I just can't focus. I want to go outside. I want to breathe fresh air. I want to feel wind on my face and in my hair. Cycle 2503. I lost more hair. I'm sitting here getting older. Every time I wake up, I feel older, weaker, sicker. Get out of breath so easily lately, and my back hurts when I sit down. How much longer will this go on? It feels like I'm just slowly dying. Well, I'm trying to inspect the thing so Elster can tell you more about the game. There is dialogue here. I mean it. There it is. The reactor's cooling system. It's leaking irradiated coolant everywhere. I tried my best to patch it up, but we eventually ran out of spare parts. Cycle 5009. I'm tired of it all. Every time I go to sleep, I wonder if I'll wake up again. I'm scared that'll be the last time I said goodnight to her. But I say it right? Will she be okay? What if one of us just won't wake up tomorrow? Cycle 5400. I don't want to die. I don't want to live anymore either. Everything is just so exhausting. I just want to lie down and disappear. Cycle 6000. I just want to sleep. Please just let me sleep. Please just make it stop. Please. I couldn't keep my promise. Despite my best efforts, I eventually fell ill, too. It had to end this way. It's time. This is all that's left. Go home. Remember our promise. I've come back for you. It's me, Elster. Elster. I'm sorry, but I don't remember. It's okay. Please, just let me stay by your side a little longer. And that is the ending of the game. There are other endings that I can also show you, but this is the ending we got for my squirrel-like nature, where I stockpiled all my gear, talked to everybody, explored everything, did everything I possibly could, and of course tried to make sure that my character never got damaged. And if I did, you saw me load. And as for that last battle, man, that took me 3 hours. And that's on top of after already planning out and practicing stuff. So that's 3 hours after I thought I was ready to record. That I kept failing my no damage, no hit run on the boss. I mean, sure, I can defeat him, but I'm already 3 weeks late to the party. You know, anybody who's wanted to see the boss get defeated has already seen the boss get defeated. So I have to do something different. I tried to no damage him, and that took forever. My biggest problem was the section with the 4 extra ARAR units. It's so cramped. There's so many barricades. Stepping outside the light makes it so hard to see things, to dodge. The way the game works is you're given a session ID when you create a save, and if you ever die during that session, save or whatever, it'll associate it with all of those sessions. So let's say I create a session file or a save file, and we'll call it seed 1000. Even if I make it a save slot 2 and save slot 3, and I die in save slot 1, all of those seed 1000s will have an extra death increment. When you get more deaths on your character, you get 5% damage reduction, up to 16 deaths. Now, over time, after you haven't died for a while, that damage reduction starts to decrease. So for a bit, it'll be 80%, and then if you are doing well enough that you're not dying, it'll go back down to 70% and so forth. Then you die one more time, and it jumps back up to the cap of 80%. When you die, you actually get more resilient. Whether that you can consider that as part of your character getting more attachments of other fallen Elster units. So I think how you perceive it. Additionally, the game time spent is tied to the session. So I have spent a lot of the game will say that I've spent like 9 or 10 hours. A lot of that was just like me staring at my notes for a bit, trying to figure out, okay, what's my next move, or retrying segments over and over. For example, just to start the introduction to this episode, I needed to load a previous save and redo that segment so that way my character can pop out of the cryostasis and I can move fluidly into the next chapter, rather than kind of start after the chapter's already begun, or just standing there mutely if I edit that out. So just for the best viewing experience, I just sort of rewind time and do that segment again. So this is, I guess, what you would call the moderate ending. It's not the worst ending, according to survey, I guess. The worst ending is your character doesn't even find Ariane. I mean, there's more to it than that. I'm just giving you kind of a generalization because I want to spoil things for you. There's actually a little more to it than that. The best ending is the game's constantly asking you to put Ariane to sleep. It's constantly asking, like, hey, radiation, want to sleep, want to end it all. You can imagine what keeping the promise might mean in the best ending. And then there is the secret ending, which I guess is even better than that. Depending on how long this episode is, once I've edited it, I may try to include the endings into this episode, or maybe I'll include it in some other episode following up on the game. Death cheated. I'd see a lot of people in Steam forums not know what that is. That has nothing to do with auto injectors. When you get hit, if you get hit hard enough, your character will instead go up, not to drop below a certain hit point level, and you'll see this red and black checker pattern in the middle of the screen. That is a death cheated. And in this game, apparently I only killed 48 enemies. Now that might be across multiple saves, because if I, for example, did say, let's say I did the star room, the dark room in the second area of the game, with all those like 4 or 5 enemies in it. I know I did that at least twice or something, and I think it only records some of that data when I save. Well, I know I saved after it to try to see if I could do it again better or something. I think additionally I needed to do it because I needed to go back down the elevator for the next episode, just like I talked about for the cryopod. It's not really a cryopod, it's a maintenance pod for Elster. So I don't think I really killed 48 enemies, but it's totally possible. The game tells me it took me 12 hours, and you're only going to see maybe 3 hours of it. Thank you very much for watching Tran win SIGNALIS. I'll see you next time.